Greetings, citizens of Tetris. It is your old pal Van Dweller back with more classic Tetris Monthly Tap Masters for July 2025. A throwback tournament for hyper tappers and a couple of DAS players as well. Let us show you what we are doing today. It's the blue bracket. Here are some brackets. This is one half of the tournament. And the blue one is what we are doing today. It's going to be former CTM mod Chiller returning from retirement. Retirement, as if you could actually retire from Tetris. And they'll be taking on Marq. You know Marq, one of the organizers of CTWC Germany and CTWC DAS and all that stuff. One of the fastest hyper tappers. Had a reputation for that years back. We'll see how he's going to do today. The winner of that will take on Crytical Lapis, who has earned a spot in the top 16, at least, or not in the top 16, but got a top 16 qualifier. We'll have to defend that spot in round 2 against the winner of Chiller versus Marq. So that is what we are doing today. Let's give you a look at upcoming streams. By the way, tomorrow we've got 2 streams for you. One is Tap Masters, one is Stupid Tetris Monthly. The Tap Masters one will be Klein versus ID Kirby. Winner takes on Sam the Speedrunner. That's at 3 p.m. Texas time, 20 UTC. And then pretty much immediately following that, it's going to be more Stupid Tetris Monthly, no next box. It's going to be Cole versus Somalian. And the winner takes on Cobra. And you can also see what is coming up. Those dates do not seem like they are the right dates. That July 27th, those don't seem like the right dates. So that Sunday, that is not right. I don't know when is that? Oh, that already, when is that? We gotta fire that intern. That one, that's the top 16 orange bracket. For Tap Masters, that is actually taking place on Friday, August 1st. So I'm not exactly sure why that happened, but we'll get that fixed. So yeah, that is Friday, August 1st, not Sunday. Friday, August 1st. 2 streams on that day. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our rules, because there are actually some rules, and the rules are that this is a 32-player single elimination flat bracket tournament based on the 1989 version of Tetris released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Players can play an emulator or console so long as the game mechanics, experience, and statistics are unmodified. They can use any controller so long as there's no big buttons or turbo functions used. And yeah, turbo not allowed, whether electronical or mechanical. Biological turbo only. We will be doing level 18 starts all the way through. No line cap. So if you can play to and through level 39, go for it. We will be using same piece sets re-rolled in between each game of the match. Hertz and input display should be turned on so we can see just how fast you are tapping. Those should be turned on in your Tetris Gym tournament cartridge. These are best of 5. So the first player to 3 wins is the winner. Remember, do not receive any in-game advice. Nobody in your ear or in the room telling you how to play or about your opponent's board or anything like that. And do not pause unless the commentator tells you to. If you do experience tech issues, internet outages, things like that, just keep playing until I give you instructions. And remember, this is a hyper tapping tournament with DAS allowed, so please do heed the spirit of tap. That means you are hyper tapping, which is a single finger, probably jitter clicking attack. But you are allowed the use of 1 extra tap from another finger or hand 1 time per piece movement. So a hyper quick tap at the end, or you can insert it anywhere in the middle. That is 1 time. So dominant 1 finger and then 1 extra accessory finger allowed per piece. That is it. No alternating tapping, bolt tapping, M tapping, butterfly tapping, none of that. Okay, spirit of tap for this tournament. That is how it works. Okay, the winner gets absolutely something, and that is a share in a prize pool which stands right now at $390. That prize pool has been provided 100% by you, the fans, the viewers. We don't have prize pool sponsors. Nobody cares. There's no Red Bull is not coming in here giving us prize pool and then sending you to Qatar. That is not happening. Yeah, it's provided by you, the fans. You guys are the sponsors, so these tournaments get as big as you want them to get. Use the Matcherino command while you're watching live to bring up the links to our prize pools for a given month's tournaments. The one that says TM or Tap Masters is the one for this one. Click on that. It'll take you to the landing page for this tournament with our prize pool partner Matcherino. Top right hand corner is where you log in by clicking the login button. You have a Twitch or YouTube account if you're watching this, and you can use that to log into Matcherino. Once you're in, there is an orange button that says contribute. Click on that to contribute. Any amount is welcome. $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $610. All those amounts are perfectly fine. If we get to our $1,000 incentive, we will pay our top 8 instead of just paying our top 4. Thanks to everybody who has contributed so far. If you're watching after the fact, you can find the prize pool at go.ctm.gg/tap prize. Tap prize. 2 P's in there. All right. And that is how to support the players. To support the channel, that is something you could do, maybe, if you want to make sure that something that you like continues to happen. That's probably in your self-interest. Patreon.com/monthly Tetris is where you can do that. You can provide us an ongoing pledge of support, just like the people on your screen have done. And yeah, big shouts to Scott Gray, Jay in the Window, K9 Tacky, Corporal Shelby, Troy Dan, Kim M, Rogue Potato, Cat Kit, Mila, and Jason for being extra big supporters. Really appreciate that. Okay, well, let me go and see what we got to do to set up here. I know, Mark, did you want to do a Ninja Cam link for your camera, or are you going to do it? Okay, well, it looks like he's actually live here, so that's good. All right, let me fix up these cams. We'll show you what we got over here. Normal cam. Okay, I mean, I'm happy to do Ninja Cam if that helps you out, but you can also just do grainy cam. That is fine too. All right, so Chiller, you are seed number 20 in the DM group. So that is, let me lock all these other ones because that's annoying. The DM group doesn't mean anything to you. It just means that you're a Tap Masters slot, which is what we're using for this one-off tournament. Okay. Doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo. Can't believe Chiller is back. It did not take long. This was really my plan the whole time. I knew Chiller was gonna like retire, and I'm like, well, we gotta bring them back, and I'm gonna wait until they retire to actually bring Tap Masters back, and then they'll retire, and then they'll come right back. That was the plan all along. All right, and let me go ahead and get Mark's camera set up. And what are you, 29? There you are. All right, we'll get your camera going. And we'll feel good. All right, there's Marq. This is what we get. Okay, so do you have like Tetris? Do you have Tetris Gym set up with your, like, the Tetris Gym hurts an input display, or no? You have a different gym version. Oh, cool. That's amazing. Hertz is, well, I don't have a way to do that on the fly. I didn't know that. Hey, by the way, folks, if you're going to set up a different gym version and make new gym versions, Make them fit with the current alignment. That's what I'm going to say out there to all you gym hackers. That way you can play in tournaments that require that stuff. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You know. Wait, do you have another one? If you have another one, yeah, do it. Yeah, if you have another one, do it. If it's easy to just pop it in, yeah, do it. Oh my God, this is like a input display is not just for aesthetics. It's so we can also police things, Bacon, but thank you for your input. It's so that we can keep tabs on what they're actually doing. If somebody starts 30 hertz tapping consistently, we know that something is up, right? So it is not just for aesthetics. Yeah, hertz display, input display on, you got it. Oh, it's beautiful. Let's take a look. Oh, that's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Thank you, Mark. Now, Mark, is that going to be your playing position, leaning in like that? Because when you lean in like that, you're not on cam, just so you know. when you lean in like that, you are not on cam, just so you know. Like, it's just like, just wondering. I thought that was what you said, just to see how fast they can tap. Well, I say a lot of things, Bacon, for the lulz. All right. Well, this is how you look when you're leaned in. So I don't know if there's a way. Like, you're leaned in. Are you able to point it a little bit over to your right, a little bit, or no? Just a little bit. Like a little tiny bit to your right. Oh my God, that's amazing. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. All right, he's beautiful now. Now he's beautiful. Now he's good. Now he's good. All right, good enough. We'll just hope that Chiller wins. That's all. No, I'm just kidding. All right, there you go. You're good. It is a nice pink chair. That is a beautiful pink chair. All right, players, I'm going to go ahead and try and drop you some pieces here. Let's see if this works. It does work. I know. Sorry to be so persnickety, guys, but we are just trying to operate a tournament here, you know? That's all. We're all beautiful, Black Ops. We're all beautiful, aren't we? In our own ways. Well, some of us. Not Kingsman, but the rest of us are beautiful. Oof, I tried to send a raid over, but my internet went out as soon as I tried to raid. How do you spell that word? I need to Google it. What word? I don't know what word you're talking about. Warp equity? Prohogamy? I don't know what any of those are. Warp equity. Warp equity. Persnickety? Persnickety. Yeah, there you go. Warp equity. I don't know what that means. All right, looks like I'm assuming both players are on. All right. We'll just start, and then if it's scuffed, that's fine. All right, let's get both players ready. This is not the top 16. This is round one. CTM Tapmasters Chiller versus Marq. Let us get them underway in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Welcome, JDMFX, Bendy, Major Wee Tiang, GB Toast, Vicky Lotta, hanging out in the chat. Bacon, Cousin Oof. All the stars are here. JDH is here. And the other people who are here are Chiller and Marq. And on the left side of your screen, it is Chiller, who qualified into seed number 20 with a 1.13 million. That was the average of their best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. Chiller is from Australia and has a tap PB of 1.31 million. Chiller, known for so many things, but you know, holds a special place in my heart as a longtime CTM helper, scheduler, moderator, and all that. We are really missing out without Chiller around, but of course, you know, some people go and they got to go do other things in life, and that's probably the best thing to do. Chiller has been in 8 CTM Masters level events, 6 times in the monthlies, 2 times in Mega Masters. And Mega Masters was this year and last year. Tetris for Marq, 58,000 for him, 136 for Chiller. Chiller's also been in DAS Masters twice, finishing as high as the top 8, which they did in February of this year. 1-time Future Circuit winner, 1-time Challenger Circuit winner as well. On the right side of your screen, it is Marq. 126 for Marq, 183 for Chiller. Marq qualified in with a 1.099 average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. Marq is from Germany. He's got a tap PB of 1.27 million. Kind of cultivated a reputation back in the day as one of the fastest hyper tappers, if not the fastest hyper tapper. Known back in the day for like consistent like 15, 16 hertz. We'll see. I don't know how long it's been. Line spin for Marq. I don't know how long it's been since Marq was tapping in any quantity, but that's what we're here to do here at Tap Masters. 232 for Chiller. They got a diving board there with a J piece over on the left side of the board. So this is going to take some doing to try to bring this down. Good board for Marq. Chiller working this down. And they're going to be able to access that left side. Yes, good with that long bar all the way to the left. Just to try to bowl out this board a little bit and get, you know, burn material across the whole thing. So Chiller still digging. Board coming down. Row by row. 245 for Chiller. 310 for Marq now. In the lead. 368. That's a good pace. Marq was also the organizer of CTWC DAS, which had a very successful tournament earlier this month. Marq was the first person ever to clear level 19 height 5 at all in any playstyle. You know, Bendy was the first person to do it with DAS. Marq was the first person to do it with any playstyle. Marq has been in Mega Masters 2 times. It was this year and last year, I believe. 4-time gold bracket player from the years of 2019 through 2022. Finished in the top 16 in 2019. Also plays in regionals around Germany, France, CTEC, all that. Just came in 2nd place in the France regional. And that is Marq. 334 for Chiller, who has seems to have extricated themselves from that dig here, and now just trying to bring this down, is back in the lead. 357 Chiller, 352 for Marq. Okay, Tetris Chiller, 384, 377 for Marq. Yes, this is German Marq, you know, Marq Mayer, Deus Ex, all these different names that Marq has gone by throughout the years. But really, there's only one Marq. When someone says Marq from Tetris, I know one Marq. The real mayor of Tetris, right? Literally, actually, the mayor of Tetris. 418 for Chiller. 448 for Marq. There's a Tetris Marq. 470. Chiller one line away from getting into level 19. That speed's going to increase by 50%. And Chiller's in the 420s into 19. So fairly low transition, but not bad, not fatal. Marq is in at 498, so 2 sub 500 transitions into 19. Is that Rust? Is that RNG? Is it both? Hard to say. Tetris Marq 546, 483 for Chiller. Now this is a best of 5. This is a hyper tapping tournament. So players should be jitter clicking, something like that. Everybody knows what hyper tapping is. That is what this tournament is. 546 for Chiller. 546 for Chiller, 576 for Marq. Marq gets a Tetris now, 603. Tio says, or Tiao or whatever, says, last few CTM streams I've seen have been stupid Tetris monthly, and 480k looks like a huge transition. Yeah, it does. Yeah, do not tickle the controller in this tournament at all. You have to jab it. Oh, this is you can only jab the controller. You cannot tickle it. 614 for Chiller. 666 for Marq. And oh no, that is going to be a top out for Chiller at 617. So Marq is good in game number 1. Right, you are good, Marq. You may top out. GG's. Okay. All right, Marq adjusting that camera one more time. Let me get these players some new pieces. All right, there we go. Get him back in there. Drinking water. Generic restaurant glass. That looks like a restaurant glass that Marq has got. Marq, did you steal that glass from a restaurant? Because it looks like a glass you would get at a restaurant. That looks like a stolen restaurant glass, my friend. All right, get those police on him. All right, the pieces are here: 03AB89, 03AB89. Guilty. Yeah, he had the look. They sell them at IKEA. Oh, that could be IKEA. You're right. You're right. All right, looks like both players are on seed. Both players are ready. Let's get him started in game number 2. Marq is up 1-0. You can't believe I'm promoting criminal activity? I am calling out criminal activity. Are you kidding? I just exposed criminal activity. I'm not promoting it. I have just done society a great service. Okay, we are underway in game number 2. These players have played against each other one time. It was back in CTL, I want to say like in 2023. And Chiller took that one 3-1. I don't know what play style everybody was using. I don't know how important what level this was. But I just remember that from having looked it up earlier. And it's one match, so I don't know. Does it mean anything? We'll see. Bendy says, as a mod and representative of CTM, you encourage this behavior. Wait, you're a mod? All right, Chiller, speaking of mod, needs to modify this stack because that left side kind of messed up. Gets a long bar down the middle. So now they're going to be able to access that left side and probably going to build a Tetris well. And yes, a Tetris well is built on the left and a Tetris is gotten. How did Bendy become a moderator? We must have been really desperate for seed pinners. Oh my God. All right, the Vits for Chiller entering from the right side of the Vits. Bendy says, I asked for mod one day and then you gave me mod. Yeah, that tracks, actually. 120 for Marq, 151 for Chiller. Yeah, Marq recently played in the Paris regional, got all the way to the finals. I don't know if I want to really say though who won. I'll whisper it so Marq doesn't hear, but it was Dan V. What the heck? Imagine. Don't spread that around, folks. 201 for Chiller, 175 for Marq. And Marq, I wouldn't call this quite, I mean, it started out as a little bit of a scramble here, but, well, maybe it is a scramble. Oh, Marq, this is definitely a scramble now. We'll see what Marq can do. A couple of good pieces here. Opens, oh, yes, and Marq has opened up the right side and gets a Tetris to 10. So Marq now safe, working one row off the bottom. There's a gap in row 1, column 6. And there is a column 8 Tetris for Chiller, 295, 212 for Marq. And yeah, back in the day when, you know, tapping was the dominant playstyle, Marq was known as one of the fastest tappers. As I mentioned, got the first player ever to clear level 19 height 5 B type with any playstyle at all. That was with tapping back in the day. Before that, you know, that was like, oh, so what? You know, now people are clearing like, you know, 29.8 or something. Who knows? But you know, path breaker, trailblazer. Nice tuck setup there for Marq with that flat T. I love that kind of thing. And Marq gets a Tetris. Chiller gets one as well. And yeah, Chiller, another one. 413 for Chiller. So Chiller has got about 118,000 point lead. 3 lines back. So this is a real lead for Chiller. Highest is 29.5 and 19.7. Yikes. Well, clearly I was exaggerating, you know, for comic effects. Yeah, who beat 19.7? $438 for Chiller, $344 for Marq. This guy says nobody has 19.7, right? Does somebody? This is what Doogie says. So I would trust Doogie. Seems, you know, reliable source of info. 470 for Chiller, 437 Marq. Marq is into 19 at 437. Doogie says, I don't know, I might have made that up. So I instantly think, oh, Doogie's reliable, to, you know, instantly Doogie not reliable. Oh, well. All right, Tetris for Marq, 489. Chiller gets one, is finally into 19 at about 520 something. Chiller not quite set up. There's this weird kind of chunky overhang over on the right side of the board that they're trying to clear out. You know who else has a chunky overhang? Kingsman. All right, there we go. Chiller got to clear away that weird overhang on the right side. I've never really seen a board look like that, but it's all good now. And there's another Tetris into column 8 for Chiller, 580. And another Tetris column 7 for Chiller. So Chiller's been hanging out in multiple columns and has or at least when I started that sentence, had a small lead. Marq now in the lead, but of course, Marq ahead in lines by about 8 or 10 lines. And there is a Tetris for Chiller, 651. You think that would have been a perfect your mom joke? Yeah, but I don't. Why would I make fun of someone's mom who I don't know when I know that Kingsman? I know Kingsman very well. Also, don't make your mom jokes. You don't know the situation with people's moms. 716 for Chiller. So they're about 10,000 points apart, about 7 or 8,000 points apart. And Marq with that hang of the Z piece. That is going to take some doing. He's going to need something for that right. Gets a triple, still working on it. Oh, that hang of the bar on the right. And that is going to be a top out for Marq, and Chiller is good in game number 2. We are tied up. So kind of a gritty, grindy game there. Chiller will take that one. Yeah, we'll watch them mulling it out. Chen says, congrats on Vandy getting the first 10 million points in my commentator premiere poll. Oh, that's very sweet. Yeah, I want to know what Marq is eating. I want to know what Marq is eating. Here, what are you eating, Marq? We all want to know. We all desperately want to know what it is. Looks like some sort of quinoa. Is that like quinoa with vegetables in it or something? What is that? Rice or quinoa, couscous, something like that. Some sort of small grain of some sort. It's called rice mit scheiss. So it's probably rice or something. All right, let's get these players some new pieces. FC rice with scheisse. Rice with scheisse. Anyway, FCE278. I love it. Yeah, rice with poop in it. That sounds good. That's kind of like something we make at our house when we have just leftovers. We just throw it all in a pan and call it poverty slop. It's just a good way to use up leftovers. You know, throw it in with some like rice or something, and just whatever you got, just throw it in there. That's what we call it. FCE278, both players are on seed. And yeah, all right. Yeah, it's just that. Use a good way to use up leftovers. Okay, let's get them started in game number 3. What was once a best of 5, now a best of 3 between Chiller and Marq in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Blue Scooty's grandpa, by the way, I missed this tier 1 resub 6 months. Thank you, Blue Scooty's grandpa. Really appreciate that. Sorry, I missed that 8 minutes ago. GB Toast also with a raid party of 6. I missed that a little bit ago. Appreciate it. If you're bored and you want to just kind of randomly give money to something, consider doing it to the prize pool. We're currently at $390. And if this kind of tournament, this Tap Masters is the kind of thing you want to encourage, then I would recommend contributing to that prize pool. We'll do it again if the prize pool is supported, and if the stream can, if we can kind of support the stream for it as well. Doing those two things, supporting the stream and the prize pool, are your signal to us that you want more of this. And I might have already been actually talked in to doing this again this year. I haven't picked a month exactly, but I don't know. I seem to be getting, I was going to only do it once a year, but I seem to be getting talked into doing it at least 3 times a year. 121 for Chiller, 60,000 for Marq. Summer B, we can schedule. We can schedule. We have room in our schedule. I need to do more streams, All right, Tetris Marq 132, 177 for Chiller. Long bar down the middle column 5. Tetris for Chiller at 201. Yeah, 3 to 4 a year. See, these people are like, moving that Overton window a little bit. They're like, oh, all right, you can do it twice a year, right? I'm like, yep. They're like, oh, we'll do it 3 times a year. Yep, I can. And they're like, 3 to 4 times a year, right? Yeah, that sounds good. And soon they'll be like, yeah, we can do it like between 4 and 6 times a year, right? And I'll be like, yep. And then soon it's just going to be like every month. My initial I don't know what Chiller's having some sort of experience over there, but yeah, Summer B, we could do it once a week, no problem. So Marq here in a bit of a dig. Long bar gets over to the right, another long bar flat, and another long bar flat. A lot of long bars you can't use for Tetrises, but yeah, Marq kind of up high and dirty. Yeah, Chiller may be playing DAS in the early rounds. It's quite possible. Just in terms of the input, the Hertz display not incrementing. Tetris for Chiller, 326, 220, but good, good catch, good question. Tetris Chiller, 372, 227 for Marq. Bacon says, bring back whole tournament in one day. Then you could do 4 tournaments a month with long streams. That is just too long. It's too long. Really, it's not too long for me. I could do a tournament every day. I love it, but it's too long for the players. I think it's too draining. And by the time you get to like a third match even for a given player, like, you are not getting their best performance. And I want to see these players at their best. And I also want to not torture them. Despite the fact that we're doing no next box, I really don't want to torture the players. 441 for Chiller, 282 for Marq. So this is a little bit of a suffer game for Marq so far. Yikes. I think Marq and I said yikes at the same time. So Marq trying to keep that right side open. Chiller running into some. Go ahead, unpause. This is obviously not intentional by Chiller. Obviously, they're having some kind of controller issue during the grip switch, so it's not a problem. I'm not exactly sure what was happening there, Chiller. So Chiller topped out at 467. And Marq is trying to chase this down. I'm not sure if Chiller was going to survive that anyway, the way that board was looking. So, oh, Marq is in a bit of trouble up here on 19. We'll see what he can do and try to bring this down again. Super fast tap speed, that doesn't matter. So that is going to be a top out for Marq, and Chiller is good in game number 2. Chiller, what was happening with your controller there? Was it a controller issue or a grip switch issue, or what was happening there exactly? Are you... Controller might be gone? Oh boy. Do you have another controller, or you don't? Not a good one. Not a good one. By the way, great camera from Chiller. This is exactly the camera we want. Just to let you know, this is exactly the camera we want. Like, if you can do this, you are like golden. Just so you know. All right, we're going to let Chiller work on their controller issue for a moment. I'll be right back in about 90 seconds. So, players, if you need to take a quick little break, let's do that. Let me just run a quick ad, and then I will be right back. Ay, ay, ay. All right. All right, so Chiller is working on their controller. All right, so we're still working a bit. You think I should get 5% of every prize pool? Nah, I don't want to do that. Rather keep those things separate. So people who want to support the prize pool can do that, and people who want to support the channel can do that. But yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. All right, Chiller's still working. I think we got a... we can see someone working on their controller. You can see what it takes. You gotta always have one of those little screwdrivers around. By the way, if somebody wants to like make, I don't know, a couple $100 off me and create a high quality NES controller shell made of like aluminum, like with really good screw holes that you don't strip when you try to tighten them, like a really, I would pay a couple $100 for that. Like if anybody's got like one of those new fangled like Game Boy clones, like the Chromatic or other ones that have like this aluminum case, I would love that for NES instead of plastic. Holy crap. Like just a really high quality thing. Doesn't have to be for Tetris, just a Nintendo controller. I don't need titanium. I think just a good aluminum would work. And then just to have screw holes that aren't like pieces of plastic, you know, so you can like tighten it. That would be amazing. But somebody get out there and start making, you know, controller shells for NES Tetris. Thank you. How could I, maybe I could find someone to do that. Maybe that's my business, right? That's the business I got to get in. All right, Joseph's going to do it. Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate it. All right, thanks, Whoops. Well. All right, so I think Chiller is in good shape. Mark, I think we're just about ready to get started here on game number 4. So I'm going to go ahead and put pieces in the chat. If we can get a pin from a mod, that would be great. Actually, my brother just got a tabletop CNC mill. Let's see if he can do aluminum. Yeah, if you can get like, there must be some like CAD files out there of the NES controller, you know, shell. And then if someone could mill that with aluminum and then get good quality screw holes, that, you know, it'd be good if they took the original NES controller screws. But like that would be amazing. Somebody out there has got to do this. Okay, looks like both players are ready. 4479 EA. 4479 EA. Both players are on seat. Both players are ready. Both players are about to start game number 4. Chiller versus Mark in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Rogue Potato says, I definitely stripped a screw hole on my favorite shell, and this topic is close to my heart. Yeah, it's high time. Like, really. With so many of these, like, premium products coming in, you know, like retro products and things like that, they've got, you know, all these FPGA consoles and, like, you know, like all that retro USB AVS. They got the... whatever, the analog whatever. Nobody's really done a great job on the controller, and it's just high time that someone did that. Like, I know there are people out there, you know, making controllers that will take that'll run off of like keyboard clicky, you know, key things, whatever those are. But I think it's got to come with an upgrade, or I would love to see an upgrade to the shell as well. But still something that CTWC won't ban you for. You know, it's got to be the exact specs and dimensions of the NES controller. 136 for Chiller, long bar over Tetris 159. 84,000 for Mark. We're in game number 4. Yeah, mechanical switches. There you go. Yeah, my brain didn't brain for a bit. So I know there's people out there doing that. If that could be combined with like a milled aluminum NES controller shell. Holy crap. But then you got to sneak it by, you know, Vince and his fascist controller Gestapo over there, you know. 250 for Chiller, 155 for Marq. Oh, we're getting an actually from Zook. All switches are mechanical. Actually. All right, Marq 183, 297 for Chiller. So a big lead right now for Chiller. A skimming at Tetris for Marq, though, is going to bring this down. Dirty Tetris for Marq. He's set up for another one. Vandy, do you prefer the approval bear or the sad thumbs up bear? I mean, the approval bear, because there's no hint of sadness involved, right? It's not like a reluctant acceptance. It's a wholehearted agreement. So I prefer the first one. 238 for Marq, 353 for Chiller. Chiller gets a Tetris. Oh, Chiller kind of under taps, I think, that Blue Jay. That's going to leave them with a little bit of a thing to deal with and not super complicated. So Chiller actually is set up for a dirty, but ends up getting a couple of inconvenient S's and just going to have to bring this down without a Tetris. Well, might be farming a Tetris right here, actually. And yeah, Chiller going for a Tetris. Dirty, and gets it after a skim. 434 for Chiller. Tetris for Marq, 356. Another dirty, oh no, not a dirty, regular Tetris for Chiller. I'm so used to all the dirty Tetrises coming from Chiller's side or offset well Tetrises, but no, that was just a regular column 10 Tetris for Chiller. 529. 391 for Marq. Tetris Chiller 554, and they could potentially get a 600K transition, which would be the first one of the match if they can get it. And Marq is into 19 at 441. And Chiller will get a Tetris and will be in at 623. So 180,000 point lead for Chiller at transition. There's a Tetris. Chiller 650. So Marq now with a clean board. All right, he's set up now. Building out that left, waiting out that bar. Has to take a skim, gets a long bar over Tetris. Marq 552. 707 Chiller. So Marq starting to close the gap a little bit, is ahead by about 5 or 6 lines. So far, we haven't had any games go really deep. Still about that 150,000 point lead for Chiller. Tetris for Marq 619. There's a Tetris Marq 677. Starting to close in a little bit. Now about 110,000 point lead for Chiller. I think if Chiller just can keep putting up points, you know, it could make it difficult for Marq to catch up, but he's been very efficient. Oh no, that left side for Marq. That T does not get over, and all of a sudden Marq is scrambling, and that is a top out for Marq, and Marq has topped out at 710, and Chiller will be moving on to round number 2. So Chiller just really did what they need to do because, you know, a good 600K transition started to dissipate a bit. But Chiller, you know, stayed alive, kept adding points, and really that is the difference. And Chiller cannot believe it. Yeah, you're moving on to round 2. Marq, congratulations on making it into this tournament and also for running an amazing CTWC DAS tournament. Hope to see you in future events because you're always a fun and exciting man. So GG's to you. Chiller, mulling it out if you want to. And our next match is going to be Chiller versus Crytical Lapis. All right, well, what can Chiller do post 29? Maybe not much in this game, but it doesn't matter. All right, Chiller, you are good. Gonna run an ad real quick, then we're gonna set up our next match. Holy crap, what a drought. Okay. Let us set this match up. What are we doing? Let's see, 20. What goes with 20? 33? I mean, 13. Yeah, it's going to be 20 to 13. And then goodbye, 29. Hello, 20. And we'll fix up the hearts. And the round is round 2. And la-di-da, la-di-da. All right, we'll do the rest of the fixing here over here. Did I run the ad on YouTube? I don't remember, but I'll run another one. Why not? Why not? Yeah, Summer B, I mean, I don't know if you want to, if you care about streaming or not, or you just want to play. I don't know what your budget is, if you're looking to do it cheap. The tough part is just going to be, you know, if you get a regular US NES, then you're going to have to get, you know, a TV that will handle that 60 hertz NTSC signal. And, but if you just kind of want to, I mean, you could just play PAL. I mean, you could just get a cheap clone and just play PAL and not really care too much. If you just want to dink and dunk around. Yeah. You know, I generally recommend the AVS. It's expensive up front, but you probably already have a monitor that works with it. And there's almost no input delay. And it runs on HDMI. And it's that part is expensive, but you won't spend a lot on the other part, right? You don't have to get the thing and then a TV. You can just get the thing, right? I don't know. But it's you know, it's like, I don't know what it is in Europe, but yeah, exactly. It's probably all tariffed out. That reminds me, I want to buy like some more of them before. I should probably do that before they are totally just out of production again. There's always something every time I'm ready to buy them. It's like, oh, it's COVID. Oh, it's supply chain. Oh, it's tariffs. Oh, it's this or that. I'll just have to wait till the next administration. And hopefully we'll have a sane one. All right, let's see. We got table tapping happening. Table tapping happening. Two great cams, by the way. Thank you so much, players. Your cam is set up in such a way that I can get your hands 100% on the screen while still having camera. Like, this is like the best. Here you go. Beautiful camera, Critical Lapis, A+. This is perfect. Great job. This is exactly what I want. And then also Chiller, 100% A+. This is exactly what I want. So thank you, Chiller and Critical Lapis. You guys get the A+ from Vandy for the month. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I like the other thing I like for really cheap, like 20, it's usually $20, $25 in the US, is the a classic N. You just got to make sure you get the one with AV out. Yeah, you would need, and I mean, you can play through an upscaler. Yeah, you don't have an NTSC TV. See, that's gonna be the thing. You're gonna want to play on a monitor if you can't get a TV. All right, players. It is round 2, so let us get you all situated. I'm gonna drop you some pieces. The pieces are here: 06E84B, 06 Echo 84 Bravo, yeah, we could just get pinners. That would be a great way to support the channel, is for someone to pin the seed for me. That is a great thing to do. No, Critical, sorry, we just didn't get someone to pin the seed. The seed is 06E84B. So yeah, if you are a mod in the channel and you have the ability to pin, like you're watching on a computer or something, please give us a help. That would be nice. Okay, 06E84B. Looks like both players are ready. Let us get them started. Critical Lapis versus Chiller, round 2. The winner goes to the round of 16 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Okay, we're starting off with the Z and the T and the L. Perfect. On the left side of your screen, it is Critical Lapis, who qualified into seed number 13 with a 1.17 average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. Critical Lapis has a 1.30 tapping PB and has played in Masters level events 4 times and has advanced into round 2 at least one time, most recently in February of 2025. Has also won a community tournament back in April of this year. You might also have seen Crytical at the Boston Regional, the one that Fractal runs. Or I don't know if that's still going to happen or if that's going to move or what, but we did see Crytical at that one this year as well. So looking forward to see what Crytical can do with a great qualifier. You know, seed 13, the players who get into the top 16, but just short of the top 8, they do get a 1-round bye. So this is Critical's first match in this tournament. On the right side of your screen, it is Chiller, who got a 1.13 qualifier. Setting up on the left well, one row off the bottom, there's a Tetris Chiller 126, 112 for Crytical, who's got that kind of hand over hand table tapping grip. And Crytical trying to bring this down. Okay, that bar is going to help. And yeah, that L is going to help. Looks like Crytical is going to uncover that. Just waiting on the long bar to get out of this. And there's a long bar down for Crytical 148. Now it's Chiller's turn to have an absolutely weird board. And so they're going to try to get out of this. There's the Vits, but oh my word, what the heck. Long bar goes in. That's a split double. And that is a total mess. And Chiller just with a meltdown in game number 1. Totally weird stack. Crytical, you are good in game number 1. Not an emotional meltdown, but a stack meltdown, right? Chiller even keel, feeling good. Maybe bemused. Are you bemused? Maybe a little bemused. Okay. Let's get we'll get a new batch of pieces for these players. Oh wait, I hit it twice by accident. Go with the second one. Like I double clicked it, so go with the second one. C8D2B4. I totally double clicked it. Chiller's happy because beating Marq and losing to Crytical makes my life easier, says Zempro. Smug Bear. Listen, we want everyone to play their best and we'll figure it out. Right? That is the reality. Mino Floof rating, a party of 16. Thank you, Mino Floof. Oh, I'll get your camera. Don't worry, I can get your camera. Your camera's fine. I'll figure it out. When you give me a lot of room, I do know you're being facetious. Yes, and I am being, I don't know what I'm being, but all right. Looks like both players are ready, so let us get them started. Game number 2, Crytical versus Chiller. Crytical up 1-0. How would someone enter a custom seed? Also, how are they being generated? So in the chat, there is a bot, a chat bot, that has a little routine, that has a little command that has been made by community members to generate like a 6-digit hexadecimal or a 6-digit series of, hexadecimal numbers, but right, base 16 numbers. And then in terms of how they are put in, I'll show it to you the next time we have to put in a seed. But basically, there's a little place on the tournament cartridge menu where you can put in the seed, and I'll show it to you. But you have to have the specific tournament cartridge. You can't just have it like a regular NES Tetris game. It's got to be the modified version that we use for competition and training. Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted by Chiller topping out, let me tell you all about Chiller. Chiller qualified in to seed number 20 with a 1.13 million. They've got a tap PB of 1.314. Chiller is the former CTM scheduler. It's really not the same without them, but you know, we do what we can, you know. But to the wonderful member of the classic Tetris community, Chiller has been in 8 Masters level events, 6 times in the monthlies, 2 in Mega Masters. Also been in Das Masters twice, finishing as high as the top 8, which they did in February of this year. Chiller setting up in column 3. Man, kind of waiting out a well-timed bar here, and this is just a board. 203 for Chiller, 261 for Crytical. Chiller also a winner of a Future Circuit. That was in April of 2024. A Challenger Circuit back in June of 2022 as well. Chiller set up 1 row off the bottom. Dirty Tetris column 10 gets it 229, 284 for Crytical. And folks in chat trying to figure out how to get someone in Europe to play NTSC NES Tetris. And Zempro with a good point. Low hassle equals high budget, right? Low budget equals high hassle, right? So you can either have it easy or expensive. Wait, what? You can have it easy or cheap, not both. Crytical is in a critical situation, and that is going to be a top out. I'm probably the first person ever to say that. That's a top out at 378. The target for Chiller to chase this one down is 379. So if Chiller can survive this, this would be eminently chase downable. But this board for Chiller does not make it an easy thing. That bar to the left is a hang, and no, that is going to be a top out for Chiller at 311. And Crytical will hang on and take game number 2. So they're trying to speed run through round 2. Yeah, Cole's probably right. If you just get the Retron HD, it's cheap. You can run it into HDMI, into like any TV or monitor, you know, modern one. And yeah, there's going to be a little bit of input delay, but if you're just getting started, you just want to get a feel for stacking and play, then that is a way to do it. We're going to show you the players inputting the seed. The pieces are 2709 FF. So whoever it was that asked about where do you put the seed in, you got to do it in the competition cartridge. And then we generate it in the robot. The robot knows how to do it. And then Crytical will enter the seed in the little seed area in the menu of the competition cartridge. 2709 FF. All right. And they hit start. And that seed is preloaded. You can see it up at the top right-hand corner of their screen. And that is how it works. Easy peasy. Yep, 2709 FF Looks like both players are ready for game number 3. Chiller needs to win this one to stay in the tournament and extend this match. Retrons are not that cheap there, but honestly, you can find an equivalent HD NES clone that will serve you well. I'm sure on Amazon. I don't know your budget, but you can find something equivalent that ships to Europe, I'm sure. And you can easily get your first, 300K on that console. Pretty much no matter how bad it is. And then you can go from there. Maybe you'll decide you don't want to ever play again. And you're like, okay, that was a fun experiment, but I like my sanity and I don't want to play NES Tetris again. Or you're going to be hooked and you'll be like, yeah, it's worth the money. So I guess whatever the HD one is on Amazon that you can afford, just get that. And then worry about it after you're good. They don't want to play an emulator. They've said it. You're late to the convo. They don't want to play an emulator. All right, Chiller up high on this board. Long bar. Oh my God, the long bar to the left is going to get hung. Chiller's going to top out again at 22,420. And that was, listen, I'm not sad for, I don't care who wins, but I do want players to play their best and feel like they had a good shot. But that was not what Chiller was waiting all this time for Tap Masters to do. Chiller, we're going to do Tap Masters again. I promise. We'll do it just for you. And Crytical is the winner. So Crytical, you are here. You didn't have to do a lot to get it, but you did take this one in a sweep. That was a bit of fun, but I'm done. Hell yeah, says Chiller. Chiller, we love you. We miss you. You're done for real? For real? Oh, no. Crytical, congrats. I'm going to go ahead and report the results of these matches. We might never see Chiller again, ever. Let's see. So wait, what was the result of the Chiller match? It was Chiller Marq. It was 3-1? It wasn't a decider, but I think Marq did win one. Yeah. And we'll go ahead and report this for Crytical. Lapis 3-0. Much disappointed. Again, we don't really, I don't care who wins, but I just do want players to feel like they played their best. And when a player goes out like that, it's not fun, All right, I guess this is a mullen, so maybe you can start a back-to-back max out streak, Crytical. Is that what we're waiting for? I think so. Chiller, is there anything that you would come back for? Is there any stupid Tetris mode that you would come back for? That would go a long way toward my deciding to do that mode. If you would come back for it. Secret grade? You got it. Secret grade is happening. We'll do that before the end of the year. Oh, and Bears. Bears, man. Yeah, we got to do a couple of Bears death matches just so people know it's for real. And so that they, see people playing so that they'll start, learning the game. Because they're going to have no chance against the top runners in that game. I don't know if Rue will play. I don't have any contact with Rue. I don't have any contact with anybody. Okay? So if anybody knows Rue or is in contact with them, make sure that they know. I did announce it in the Bears Discord, but But yeah, I'm gonna have to put a couple of Bears death matches on the schedule. All right, Critical with reasonable game going, I guess. And we're gonna watch here. I'm gonna CTM qual. Can you snipe a raid after this? Yeah, I will raid you, Doug. Yes. Assuming you're qualling on your main, because why not? Why would, like, if you have a why would you not qual in your main if you have a following, right? Always qual in your main for your fans. You never know who's gonna drop by. Want to show you some support? You got to do it. All right, we'll raid Doug. But we'll watch. This is technically a competitive game, so we got to see it to the end. We're not just gonna duck out just because it's a mullen. Like it's going to be a 210 line mullen. You close chats, you usually just qual in your alt. If you have a following though, if you're like a known player, all right, there you go, Critical. Congratulations to you, GG's. Thank you so much, and we're gonna see you in the top 16. So congratulations, you're gonna get to take on Eyeball. Let us. You promise you play better. All right, you better promise. We have to raid Dog quick. There's drama. All right, let me just thank everybody who needs to be thanked. Thanks to everybody who rated. And contributed to the channel. There you are. We got bills to pay, so I gotta pay him. Lunch Flakes for the follow. Subs. Blue Scooty's Grandpa. Mino Floof. GB Toast for the raid. Thank you to our patrons, including Scott Ray, Jay in the window, K-Nan, Watch Your Tetris, Tackners, Corporal, Shelby, Troy Dan, Kim M, Rogue Potato, Cacket, Mila, and Jason. And thank you to those of you who contributed to the prize pool. Nobody did anything today, so I will not thank you. But I thank everybody who did in the past. All right, we're going to raid Dog playing Tetris, who is qualifying for CTM. So go and watch Dog do that. If you're on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, well, you're going to have to get over to Twitch, I think. Or maybe find him on YouTube if he's doing it there. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye, YouTube. You are done. And thanks, everybody. Chiller, Critical App is Chen, JDMFX, Cold Bucket, RXS, Rogue Potato. All right.